Previously on the Archives of Domaselum.
The baby. The baby's coming.
The name's Turson. I am a cleric here at the temple.
Look, Gorzog, just let's find a place that at least has a map of the city.
I'm from the Eternal Camor.
I'm sorry, What? You see, the northern section is covered in shadow, and as you hold him in your arms, you do not sense any life in his body.
Gineod, get out!
Would you be more willing to undertake this mission then?
We'll get it taken care of.
I've read the scrolls that say that you are near, but yet I don't see you anywhere.
I urge you, be strong in heart. You and your children and your children's children have all that you need in me. Therefore, cleanse the injustice that has been brought to my land, of which I am giving to you. Before we get into our session today, all of our characters have leveled up to level 4. So we're just going to take a brief snapshot of what they gained here at level 4. Gineod, we'll start with you. What did you end up doing with your 4th level?
Yeah, so I went Barbarian level 4, in which I get an ability score improvement. And I decided to go with the feat, specifically the Polearm Master feat.
Okay, yeah, I felt like I could see that one coming. Adam, why don't you go ahead and describe to us what the Polearm Master feat is?
Yeah, it says prerequisite. You have to be level 4 or higher to take it, and you have to have a strength or dexterity of 13 plus. And it says you gain the following benefits. First, ability score increase, so you increase your dexterity or your strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. The second part of this is the pole strike, which says immediately after you take the attack action and attack with a quarterstaff, a spear, or a weapon that has the heavy and reach properties, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. The weapon deals bludgeoning damage, and the weapon's damage die for this attack is a d4. And then the third part of this feat is called reactive strike, which says while you're holding a quarterstaff, a spear, or a weapon that has the heavy and reach properties, you can take a reaction to make one melee attack against a creature that enters the reach you have with that weapon.
Okay, very good. And how many hit points now are you at now that you're at level 4?
So now I am at a total of 63 hit points.
Oh, gosh, that's crazy. That is so much HP already at level 4.
Yeah, that's the barbarians for you. Well, thank you, Adam, for describing Gineod to us. Let's go to Ben. Ben, what did you end up doing with Gorzog?
Yeah, so I ended up taking a level 4 in Fighter, and I also got an ability score improvement, and I decided to go with Dual Wielder.
Okay, go ahead and describe Dual Wielder to us.
Yeah, so kind of like Gineod's with the Polearm Master, the prerequisite is that you have to be a level 4 or higher with a strength or dexterity score of 13 plus. It says you gain the following benefits. You increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. The second part is enhanced dual wielding, which says when you take the attack action on your turn and attack with a weapon that has the light property, you can make one extra attack as a bonus action later on the same turn with a different weapon, which must be a melee weapon that lacks the two-handed property. You don't add your ability modifier to the extra attack's damage unless that modifier is negative. And then the third part is quick draw, which says you can draw or stow 2 weapons that lack the two-handed property when you would normally be able to draw or stow only 1.
Okay, very good. What is your total HP at currently for Gorzog?
Total HP is at 50.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Johnny, I actually have a question for you in regards to that. On Enhanced Dual Wielding, it says you don't add your ability modifier to the extra attack's damage unless that modifier is negative. However, I have the 2-weapon fighting style, which lets me normally add my ability modifier damage on the offhand attack. Does that kind of override what that last part of Enhanced Dual Wielding says?
Yeah, I was going to say with your bonus action attack, since you have the specific fighting style for it, in this case, you would add your modifier as part of the damage because you specifically had the fighting style for it. If you didn't, then what is said in the feat description here would apply.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, no problem. Just because I'm curious too, did you guys, I'm guessing, end up both going with strength on your score increases?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, awesome. Next we go to Milcha. Mackenzie, what did you end up doing for Milcha's 4th level?
Yeah, so I went level 4 in Cleric, and I ended up taking the ability score improvement and applying it to my wisdom score. And so now my wisdom score is capped at 20 with a +5 modifier.
All right, first cap of the game. And that means any of your wisdom skills also would have increased, as well as your spell save DC and spell attack modifier.
Yeah, that's right. So now I am a little bit higher on my insight medicine skill, as well as my perception, survival, animal handling. My saving throw is also boosted as well. And I am now at 37 hit points.
Thank you, Milcha. Let's go to Avery. Avery, what are you doing with your 4th level for Drexiath?
Yeah, I'm going a little wayward in comparison to the others here. I am, instead of going with Warlock 4, I am actually going to take my 1st level in Sorcerer.
Okay, so we got our first multi-class of the game here. For those sitting at home, multi-classing is an option you can do with character creation, where if you meet the prerequisites, you can, instead of going all of your levels in one specific class, you can add classes and their features as you level up. In this case, Drexiath is a Warlock in which he had high charisma. The minimum charisma score in which you needed to multi-class into Sorcerer and multi-class out of Warlock is a charisma score of 13, and Drexiath has met those requirements. So you said you ended up going with your 1st level in Sorcerer then?
Yeah, that's right. So I gained a couple features along with the spells that come with being a sorcerer. So now I have packed magic spell slots, and now I also have sorcerer spell slots. The feature I gained was innate sorcery, in which says as a bonus action, you can unleash magic for 1 minute, gaining the following benefits. First, the spell save DC of your sorcerer spells increases by 1. And then it says you have advantage on the attack rolls of sorcerer spells that you cast. And I get this twice per long rest, since my proficiency bonus is 2.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, we'll explore that later on as we continue through the sessions here. What's your total hit points at Drexiath?
My total hit points are at 31.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you guys for running through that, and now we'll go ahead and get on to the session. Upon starting where we ended off, where you guys were taking your long rest, I'm going to go to Milcha here. Milcha, would you say, based off of your experience, in these last 8 hours here, do you think you would have slept?
Honestly, no. I don't think I would have slept, just soaking in as much time as I can, holding Deus, and thinking about the revelation that was given to me through the spoken word of Yatser. And I think there would have just been too much running through her mind to ultimately say that she would have gotten any sleep.
Okay. Thank you for playing to that. And in that case, Gineod, Gorzog, Drexiath, you will all get a long rest, so you can go ahead and regain all your features. Milcha, you do not regain a long rest, but however, you do gain a level of exhaustion. For the audience here, as well as you guys, this is what the exhaustion condition says. It says, while you have the exhaustion condition, you experience the following effects. Exhaustion levels, which means each time you receive one of these exhaustion levels, you gain 1, and you die if your exhaustion level is 6. This is a cumulative condition. D20 tests are affected. When you make a D20 test, the roll is reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level. So with an exhaustion level of 1, it would be a -2 to your attack rolls, ability checks, saving throws, etc. that uses the D20. Your speed is also reduced. Your speed is reduced by a number of feet equal to 5 times your exhaustion level. So at level 1, your speed would be reduced by 5 feet. And then in order to remove these exhaustion levels, you would need to finish a long rest. And it removes 1 of your exhaustion levels at a time when you do that. And when your exhaustion level reaches 0, that means the condition ends for you.
Okay, thank you for the clarification on that, Johnny.
Yeah, sure. I know it's a little bit different than the 2014 version, but that's why we're playing through the 2024, just to catch everybody up on what's new and how everything works. So, Milcha, you sit laying down along this bed that you were brought to whenever you gave birth to Deus. And throughout the night here and your experiences that you've had, you sit there with faint torchlight closer to the door, mostly dark room. And then there comes a point where, as the time has passed for a normal long rest to be had here, you hear a little knock at your door, and then a little creak that slowly cracks the door. Milcha, I just wanted to check and see how you were doing. This is Turson.
Yeah, you can come in.
Turson opens the door a little bit wider before shutting it more closely. He goes, I know I don't need to ask how you are feeling. I know you are going through a troubling time right now. I wanted to make you aware that your companions that you travel with, all 3 of them have agreed to take on a particular mission that is affecting Colta Fes, specifically the northern part of Colta Fes.
What sort of mission are you referring to, Turson?
It specifically involves purging the darkness that lays wait on the northern part of Colta Fes. They have agreed to undertake this mission in hopes of providing what was lost to the people that have migrated here, most of them being homeless.
Okay. Have they already left?
No, they were getting their rest here, and then they were going to go ahead and take action. I made sure Gineod knew that I would take care of you while they went.
Milcha kind of like shifts up in her bed, still holding Thaddeus closely, and kind of dangles her little legs just over the bed, over the side of the bed. Turson, I want to join them. I want to join them in helping with this mission.
Turson gives a very surprised look upon you saying that. Milcha, don't feel like this is something you have to do. It is definitely going to be a challenge for them, as it has for many adventurers. But what you have just endured is not... Don't feel like you have to rush that just to get back to where you were.
I know I don't have to rush, Turson. Thank you very much for encouraging me with that. But I actually think maybe it would be good for me to be of assistance to someone else. This mission hopefully maybe could take some of the grief off my mind, even if at least just a little bit. I think it's what I should do. And I think I can be of help to the city in that way. And it would help me continue on going north and getting back to Maxon to find my husband.
Well, I could certainly understand when you wanting to do that. I want to ask, though, how are you... What do you want? He can't even finish his sentence. He just gestures towards Thaddeus.
Milcha sits quiet, just looks at him in his swaddle cloths, and looks back up to Turson. Do you offer any kind of service that would allow me to carry him with me? Like a cremation of sorts?
We certainly have that kind of service, and I would be happy to do that service for you. I can get Gertie and the other priestesses ready as soon as you want, if that is the decision you want to make.
Milcha looks back down at Deus again, and then back up to Turson. I don't know if I will ever be ready to do it, so we might as well go forward with it.
I'll get the priestesses ready, and I will send Gertie once everything is set up.
Thank you, Turson.
Turson exits out the room. The remaining three of you still, at this point, through the long rest, I'd say you're still asleep at this point, and it's not long, Milcha, before Gertie knocks on the door and shows a little bit of her face. She goes, He's ready for you.
Milcha definitely takes her time in rising from the bed. Even though now Thaddeus cannot feel any pain, she takes care of him and holds him and maneuvers around with him as if he was alive. And she finally gets down from the bed and begins walking towards Gertie with the intent of following her to where this ceremony is happening.
You get off of the bed, your bare feet hitting the cold stone floor. And you take every step slowly but surely, soaking in every moment that you hold Thaddeus in your arms. And as you get to the entrance of the door, Gertie begins to lead you out of the room. To your left down the hallway, you see a sleeping Gineod along the side of the wall. And she leads you down to the right as the hall continues further around. You make one turn to the left as the hallway continues. And then as it continues on, there's a staircase that breaks off from the hallway, descending down to a lower floor. You follow Gertie down the descent, torchlight guiding you despite you not even needing it. And as you walk down the few sets of stairs, you come to a chamber that contains a forge of sorts. At least that's the best I can probably describe it, as it just looks like a forge, like a furnace forge. And as you walk down, you see the rest of the priestesses standing there along with Turson by this forge. Gertie stands next to you and she says, "Take all the time you need." And she walks over next to Turson and they await you as soon as you're ready.
Milcha's heart just aches at this. Never thinking that she would have to see a moment like this. She can't take her eyes off Thaddeus. And as she looks at him, she starts to cry. And as she cries, she speaks to him. "I'm sorry I couldn't bring you into this world in a way that you deserved. I'm sorry I didn't have the strength to withstand the attacks I faced that led to all of this. I'm angry that this happened to you. And yet, despite my anger, my grief brings me back to the one in the place where I know in the end you reside. And I pray that one day soon, I will get to see who you have become under his light. I love you, Thaddeus. Damn it. I love you very much." And Milcha walks slowly, trying to prolong this as much as she can before she finally arrives to Gertie and Turson. And I hold Thaddeus out for Turson to take.
With a somber look on his face, Turson takes Thaddeus gently. And it is painful inside to feel his body leave your hands.
Yeah, I think as soon as he leaves my fingertips, a wave of grief just comes over me, and Milcha just wails as Turson takes Thaddeus.
The priestesses all come around you and comfort you, with Gertie holding the sides of your face within her arms, her hands right behind your head in an attempt of comfort. And Turson walks Thaddeus to the back of the forge, now out of sight of you. Time passes for what seems like a long time, when in reality, this process happens within maybe a few minutes. As you sit there and console with the priestesses, soon Turson walks back around, and he holds a small container with a gem in the middle of it. And in his right hand, he holds what looks to be some finely crafted thin chain link, attaching it to the very small container. And as he wraps it around the opening, he tightens the ends of the chain links together, making a necklace that holds the container of the remains of your son, Thaddeus. Turson hands the necklace to you without saying a word.
I take the necklace from him and gaze at the container. And after gazing at the container for a little bit, I look up to Turson. And I say, thank you for granting me this.
He nods his head and gives you a big hug. And all the priestesses, one by one, come next to you to attempt to comfort you in your grief.
I take my time with that. And upon the last priestess helping me, I look upon all of them in gratefulness before eventually looking back to Turson. And I say to him, I would like to gather up with my other companions.
Okay. I will take you to them. Turson leads you back the way you came. And upon leading you back the way you came, you get to where the room was that you had stayed. Milcha, after you come to where the entrance of the room you had stayed at was, Gineod, you awaken, hearing the footsteps of Turson and Milcha as they approach you.
Gineod immediately rises to his feet, and he says, Milcha, are you okay? Is everything all right?
Milcha continues to walk forward towards Gineod, and she doesn't even acknowledge the question of how she's doing to Gineod, but instead she just says, I'm getting my things, I'm going with you on your mission.
What? Why are you going on this mission? You don't have to do this, Milcha.
I already had this conversation with Turson. I want to go. But I need to get my things so that way we can get going. And I continue moving forward.
I get up quickly and follow Milcha through the hallway.
Milcha, as you move through the hallway now, Gorzog, upon you awakening, as you prepare your stuff for the journey ahead, you see Milcha walking forward from the hallway with Gineod right behind her.
I'm definitely surprised to see Milcha up and moving around. As I see her walking, I actually start to walk towards her and say, well, look at this. Looks like you still carry a lot of strength in you.
Upon Gorzog saying this, I actually grab him by the chest and shove him against the wall, regardless of the size differential. And I look at him and I say, look, I heard about your mission, and we are not in any way friends, and we are barely allies. I am going with you guys to accomplish this, and then I'm gone. So do us all a favor, especially me, and tan it for this mission, so that way we can get all this over with. And I don't have to smell your stench anymore after what your people did to me. And I let him go and continue walking past.
Gorzog sits in a little bit of shock from the strong words towards him. But for the first time, I think, in this whole journey, when Milcha had stood up to him, I think he gives a little bit of respect for her approaching him.
Milcha, as you're continuing to move forward, you now get into the sanctuary area with Gineod behind you and now Gorzog. Our attention now, though, is going to turn to Drexiath. Drexiath, you complete your long rest, and you awaken in the bed that you laid in here at the temple. And upon you awakening, you instinctually rub your eyes and your face. And upon rubbing your face, you begin to see black scales sitting within the palm of your hands, loose black scales that look just like the scales that would reside on your hands.
I look at him confused, wondering what is happening. I look at the rest of my body.
Yeah, you look at the rest of your body, and indeed, even along the sides of your wrists, you can see these scales just falling off of you and onto the floor. And it's very strange, because on the left side of on the left wrist, the scales that fell off leave this silvery scale in its place. And on the right wrist, from where the scales had fallen off, you see these copper scales that sit in its place.
Is there a base of water near me?
Yeah, I would say there's one in the corner of the room that you're staying in.
Okay, I go towards that basin, and I first just wash my hands and wrists within that basin, and then after the water settles, I look in the water and see, what do I see?
So yeah, you wash your hands and your wrists, and more scales just continue to come off your wrists as you're washing that area, revealing more silver scales on your left wrist and copper scales on your right wrist. And once the water settles and you look at your reflection in the water, you are now seeing the same thing that happened to your wrists is happening on your face. There are pieces of the left side of your face that appear to have scaled off. And then in the same way on the right, you see the left silvery scales in place of what had fallen off on the left, and then the copper scales that have taken their place on the right. It's not your full face, but there are splotches of parts of your face that showed that where these scales have peeled off.
I think Drexiath actually kind of panics for a second, wondering if he's come down with a disease of some sort. And then upon just kind of sitting and thinking for a moment, his attention turns to the book. And upon approaching the book, he opens it just to the next page, the last where he had left off in the book, essentially. And Drexiath asks Tentergoth, "What's happening to me? Why are my scales falling off?"
Some time passes as you await the answer on the book, and eventually you begin to see writing in the book. And the words in the book say,
"I am revealing the truth to you. Your lineage is not what you think it is."
I read that and think about that, and I'm curious more as to what it means. And my memory goes back to the conversation that I had with Tentergoth previously when I didn't know the name that this book was associated with. And I think about the words that I said, that I don't belong here. I think about that for a moment before looking back at the book and pondering the words of Tentergoth. I close the book quickly and get my stuff ready, knowing that this is the time where we are going to liberate the northern part of Colta Fes.
okay, yeah, you pack your book up and grab your things, and you walk out of your room. Milcha, Gineod, Gorzog, you all stand out there in the sanctuary, awaiting Drexiath. And Drexiath, you walk in, and while your wrists and the rest of your body are covered with the armor you wear, your face is very visibly different from the peeling of the scales that happened within that room.
I look at Drexiath, kind of concerned of what I'm seeing, and I said, "Drexiath, what happened?"
Yeah, your scales seem to have changed color or something of that nature.
Is it a sickness?
I honestly don't know. I don't feel any different. It's hard for me to really understand what's happening, but I'm okay. I don't feel weak or anything. I'm ready to go if you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get this taken care of.
I'm ready as well.
Milcha, before you can say you're ready, you see Governor Grumsworth and Turson come out, and Turson specifically begins to walk towards you. And within his hand, he is carrying a shield. And he walks towards you and says, "Milcha, I know this will be a tough journey, and I want to make sure you are protected. Please, take this shield. It bears the symbol that Shoji had put on his shield. A symbol that Shoji dedicated to Yatzer in fighting the enemies of Yatzer." And he offers you the shield with the symbol of Yatzer on it.
I take it and look to Turson as I wield it. "Thank you, Turson. We'll be back with good news. Hopefully."
He nods. Governor Grumsworth looks on to you guys. "Thank you for being willing to try and do this. I do hope to see you again. May Yatzer grant you favor as you continue to go forward in undertaking this." So Milcha, the shield has a symbol on it, so anything that requires your symbol, such as your channel divinity, your divine spark, those kinds of things, you are able to do those now.
Okay, thank you. That's great.
Okay, so you all exit out of the temple now, I'm guessing, correct?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the lead on that.
And I'll be right behind Gorzog, kind of helping give some direction on that.
Well, you don't think I can't find the northern side of Colta Fes?
It's not that. It's just a big city with a lot of... Well, I say a big city. It's not as big as Helfer, but it still requires some navigation. I'm willing to help if need be.
Okay, no, it works for me.
Okay, so you guys do move through the city. Gorzog, if you're taking the lead, actually, why don't you go ahead and make a survival check?
I'll go ahead and help him, give him advantage.
All right. It's just a flat 10 with advantage.
Okay. Yeah, it's not so much that this check would have resulted in a failure. It's just a matter of how much time that it was going to take. And as you guys continue to walk through the various parts of the city, passing by people that are taking on the daily tasks of life here in Colta Fes, you get to a point where it seems like you've been maybe traveling for about half a day, 3/4 of a day worth of time. Really hard to tell down here underground. But just from, if you're basing it off of the exertion of energy that you're giving, it definitely seems like you've been traveling for quite a while. But it finally comes to the point where you follow a road that leads you towards this more northeastern side of Colta Fes. And it is here that off to your left, you can see this lake that resides in the middle of Colta Fes. And its northern edge, where according to maps that you had seen, the edge of the northern side of the lake was very near where the Capitol building that Governor Grumsworth resided in. And it's at that edge of the northern side of the lake that you can see this line coming across, and this line of shadow that just deepens as it goes further north. And you have come to the point where now you realize that you are at the place where you now can enter the northern part of Colta Fes and the shadowy environment that envelops it.
Johnny, I have Devil's Sight, which allows me to see in both magical and non-magical darkness. Does this have any effect in particular on this?
You can see in the darkness, and even you with dark vision can still see, make out shapes and stuff like that, but it's not so much a darkness as it is just a shadowy environment in and of itself. So I would say, really based on this, it doesn't really pertain to a darkness per se. So I'm going to say no, that it doesn't, that wouldn't really be as effective in this moment. But you're still able to discern shapes and stuff as you get closer and closer in.
Okay, I just thought I would check.
All right, so as you continue to move forward, you can see the stone in front of you, and this shadowy haze, almost like a fog, almost like a shadowy fog that sits in front of you. And as even just with a few steps that you're taking moving forward, you're passing by houses and old shops and different things of that nature. Do you guys just continue to follow the road and just continue moving north?
Well, I can't think of something else that we should do in this case. Do you think we should take a look in any of the houses or the businesses or anything?
I don't think that's something that's necessary for us. We're just trying to figure out how to get rid of the shadow.
Yeah, I understand that, but perhaps these houses or businesses have things that could be of use to us.
I think we should leave the stuff where it's at. When these people come back, they're going to be looking for it.
But if we don't come back, then there will be nothing for them to come back to anyway. That's the position they're in right now.
I think we should still try and find the source of where this shadowy fog is coming from. And if absolutely need be, we could duck into the houses or the businesses or whatever resides along the streets here and use what's necessary. But as of right now, I think it's best we just keep moving and gain some discernment on what it is that's actually causing this.
I think that sounds good. I'm good with that.
Gorzog continues to move on, and we'll continue to follow the street forward.
Okay, so you guys continue to move forward. The shadowy fog just continuing to be thick in the midst of your movement and your watching. The temperature feels even cooler as you get further in, feeling like a sign that you're continuing to progress. As you're moving forward on the street's not breaking to like the left or the right. It's just a continued cobblestone street that continues to go further north. What do you guys wish to do?
Can I look around and just see if there's anything that seems just of note, out of place? Yeah, I guess that's just the best way to put it. Anything that's just out of place.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check, Milcha.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. Yeah, with a 17, you move forward, and as the whole group is moving here, there's a point where the shadowy fog kind of moves past your field of vision, and you can see an entrance to a particular museum of sorts. And as parts of the fog even move away from the museum itself, you can now see where the fog lifted in a particular spot where it says Art Museum. This art museum definitely seems like more like a landmark than it does just another house, another small business just along the side. This seems like it has had some investment into it and definitely stands out, at least so far in the time that you have walked. It stands out from some of the other structures.
Can I just look at it a little more closely?
You can. You just have to veer off the path a little bit to get up to the entrance. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay, so you veer off the path, continue moving toward the art museum. The rest of you notice this.
Gineod just immediately steps towards Milcha and in an attempt to just ensure her safety.
Yeah, I'll follow behind.
I will as well, but I'm going to watch our backs as we go.
Okay, so as you move forward towards the art museum here, you can see that this art museum actually does have like some windows inside of it. A few are knocked out, but not on this first floor entrance area here. As you move towards it, you can see that there is a window to the left side of it, and then there is a door right in the center as you walk up the steps. But there's only one window on this first floor.
Does it seem like that's how it is if you go all the way around the museum?
If you peer around, you could see that like there are windows that are still on the first floor, but there's no real entryway on these other sides of the building. This is the only entrance is here up in the front.
Okay. So I move forward and step onto the entrance area here. It's just a door in front, window to the left. Like, are we on like a porch of some kind, or?
It's not a porch, but it is like a long kind of just platform, I guess if you want to say it. It's stairs that go up, and then there's a little platform there that you stand on before. And standing on the platform, you get a little bit closer look of the door and the walls and stuff like that. In front of the door is what appears to be a unmoving body.
Oh, okay. As I see it, it's startling for a second, but then after taking it in, I would like to examine it if I can. Can I see maybe how, like if he's alive, if this creature's alive or if the creature's dead?
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
That is an 18.
Yeah, with an 18, you look at this creature, and based off of just the vital signs that you're checking here, the creature does appear to be dead. The skin is fairly fresh, so apparently this creature's death has been very recent. There is some dry blood that's along the torso of this creature, and there are wounds that appear to reveal themselves to you, like as you look at the creature, and they definitely appear to be like piercing wounds, like something from a dagger or another piercing weapon.
Does this creature have anything on him?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I can help you with this one, Milcha.
Yeah. I only got a 3.
Okay, well, yeah, with a 3, like you're feeling all around the clothes and trying to figure out if this guy has anything on him. And I mean, outside of the clothes, you feel that this creature doesn't have anything specifically on him.
Is it a dwarf or a halfling?
It is actually a little gnome.
I look at the door. Does anything seem wrong with the door?
Gorzog gets a little impatient with Milcha taking time examining the body and the door. So Gorzog actually comes in, he just goes in and kicks down the door.
Oh my gosh, this is how parties die.
Well, I guess we'll see. Gorzog, go ahead and I'll have you make go ahead and just make an attack roll against the door.
It's a 12.
Yeah, 12's gonna hit the door. So go ahead and just go ahead and roll your damage with it.
That is a 10 points of damage.
Yeah, with 10 points of damage, you actually just run up and just kick down the door. I'm not even worried about the unarmed damage dealt to it. I'm just using it for flavor, essentially. You kick down the door, and the door just slowly falls over flat on the ground. The entrance now open for you to walk in.
Yeah, I go ahead and walk in, and I want to go ahead and just give a look around, see if there's anything in here useful.
Okay, and if you're just doing like a search, this is an investigation check if you're searching.
Okay, not my strongest stat for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't mine either.
That's a flat 15.
Okay, yeah, with a flat 15, as you are walking around here, you begin searching through the different cases and different pieces of art that just sit around here, and you're seeing canvases, you're seeing different writings and relics and some of these other things, more so just for benefit of display, appealing to the eyes, and things of that nature. But there is a small little figurine that sits along the left side of this first floor room here. And it definitely seems different than the other things that are in here. Hard to tell for sure exactly why. Maybe it does have some more worth to it. But this figurine is, it looks like a small raven. And as you look closer at it, it's got like a silvery glint to it.
Okay. I actually am going to call over to Drexiath.
As I hear Gorzog calling, I go ahead and walk over.
Get a load of this. This doesn't seem like the other things that are in here. Most of this is canvas in here, and yet there's this figurine. You think this has something? It definitely caught my eye when I was looking around.
I could see exactly what it is and what it does.
Okay, I'll let you handle it. He hands the figurine to Drexiath and continues to go look around upstairs.
Okay, after Drexiath takes it, Drexiath will cast Identify on the figurine.
Okay. So, Gorzog, you said you're going upstairs, though, is that right?
Yeah, because you said there's more than one story here, right?
Yes, I did. There is a second floor up here, and as you walk up to the second floor, you search around, and it's more canvas paintings, more wall paintings. You do not find anything of particular value at first, and then you come to a room in the back that does have this small pristine canvas that gives off a little bit of glow to it as you approach it.
Interesting. As much as I want to touch it,
yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm going to resist. And I'm actually just going to wait until Drexiath has completed his Identify, and then I'll call for him up here.
Okay. Drexiath, whenever you finish doing your Identify spell, as you're looking at it, this is a figurine of wondrous power. And the figurine of wondrous power, in the form of the silver raven, it's a statuette that if you take the magic action to throw the figurine to a point on the ground within 60 feet of yourself, the figurine becomes a living creature specified by the specific kind of figurine that it is. The creature's friendly to you and your allies. It understands your languages, obeys your commands, and takes its turn immediately after you on your initiative count. If you issue no commands, the creature defends itself but takes no other actions. The creature exists for a particular duration, and at the end of the duration, the creature reverts to its figurine form. And it reverts back to its figurine form early if it drops to 0 hit points, or if you take a magic action while touching the creature to make it revert back to its figurine form. And specifically with the silver raven, it can become a raven for up to 12 hours, and once it's been used, it can't be used again until 2 days have passed. And while it's in raven form, the figurine grants you the ability to cast Animal Messenger on it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty handy, actually. Does it require attunement?
No, it does not. This is an item that does not require attunement. And it's about this time, as you finish determining what this is, you hear the call from Gorzog upstairs.
I go ahead and come up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow Drexiath up too.
Yeah, I'll go right after Milcha.
Okay, so as you all come up, Gorzog, you stand in front of the canvas here, and it remains glowing as you stand in front of it. And Drexiath, you look at the canvas, and definitely appealing to the eyes that the light that comes off the canvas.
it started glowing as I was getting towards it.
Okay. Well, why don't you step back and I'll see if I can give it a little more examination.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead and step back.
That did not sound very convincing at all.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. That was really subtle, Drexiath.
I go up and take a look at it.
Okay. Do you cast Identify It on it as well?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take the time to do that.
Okay, so as you come up to it and you examine it, you run your claws over it, and your eyes kind of actually give off a similar light blue glow, trying to match the particular magic that maybe is associated with this. You're trying to determine it. As you do cast Identify, you do not sense that this is magic in any way in particular.
Huh. This doesn't seem to be magic in any way. Do any of you guys maybe know what this might be?
I'll walk forward and look at it.
Okay, Milcha, you walk forward and look at it. I'm going to go ahead and actually have you make me a religion check.
Oh, okay. That is a 21.
Okay, yeah, with a 21, this is a text that, after you take a look at it and its writing, and even with the symbols all around it and stuff, it is from an old religious sect called the Goron Fen. The Goron Fen was a religious sect that believed that speaking poems and haikus and other particular rhythms in honor of what they believed in religiously, that they believed that doing that on the battlefield would stop the warrior from pursuing them, essentially, almost like a ward of sorts. And so whenever a warrior would approach, the thought was that this particular piece of parchment, they'd recite what was on it, and as the warrior would come close, it would glow.
Huh. Interesting. And does that seem like that's what's happening now?
Well, the thing I'd say with the 21, since you had a high enough roll on it, there's not been a lot of evidence that it actually truly did happen. Like that it was actually a thing that actually did work. Like some people, like a lot of superstitions believe that this is what a particular ward that would work, but it was definitely not a, call it a tale, call it a legend that it would happen, but it was definitely, there was definitely enough ambiguity of its truth and how it actually worked, I guess.
Okay, does it seem like it could still be worth something, just based on the side of it?
I mean, with a text like this, it definitely could be worth. I guess it depends on who you sell it to. It, like, even still with its properties, it could at least be worth some gold. But it's up to you as far as if it's something that remains or if it's something that you choose to take.
Well, I know I said it. I would know I was of the mind that we shouldn't take anything, but this is really tempting to take. I explained it to the group, though, as far as to what it is.
I think after hearing that that's what it is, Gorzog just goes ahead and takes it and stashes it away in his pack. This could be of use later. I'm sure the people who own this museum will be okay with it as long as they get their museum back.
Milcha just kind of shakes her head and just kind of moves back towards the stairs.
Yeah, Gineod follows as well.
Okay, so you all just walk down the stairs then. And what would you like to do from here?
Well, we've looked into this museum, I guess, as much as we can. I guess we should just continue going back on the path.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. I'll go ahead and lead out.
Okay, so Drexiath, you lead out, and as you lead out, you hear the sound of footsteps running away down the stone path as if you were going to continue anyways.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. And Gorzog's going to walk forward up with Drexiath and join him as he looks on.
Okay, so as you move forward, you continue to walk in the midst of the dense fog of shadow here, and you can still hear some faint running even as you're continuing to move down the stone path. And it's as you move down the stone path, you lose track of the sound of the steps, but the path then splits. It either goes left or it goes right.
So, like, how far, I guess, is the split from the art museum?
I'd say it's maybe close to a half mile down, roughly, maybe where you had came from. Kind of hard to tell.
What do you guys think? Should we go left or should we go right?
Well, if I remember on the map, if we were going straight and we knew that there was more to look for towards the left, since we were entering along the northeastern side, perhaps left is a better way to go. There would be more to look for there.
No, I'm okay with going left as well.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, we'll go left then.
Okay. The moment you get on the left side of the path, it definitely seems more evident to your eyes and your senses that the fog is definitely getting darker and thicker and more obscuring as you're moving forward. You continue to move following that left path, and after you get maybe another, you'd guess, half mile through that, you begin to hear this dark humming sound, like a just this deep, dark hum.
I'm not the only one hearing that, right?
No, I hear it too.
It must mean we're going the right way. We weren't hearing this before. Let's keep going.
I feel uneasy about following Gorzog forward, but I know deep in my mind that he's probably right. This probably is where the source is as we get closer, so I'm going to continue to follow Gorzog.
As you move forward, continuing to follow the cobblestone steps, and upon maybe another mile that you walk, the humming just continues deep and dark, and the path then continues straight or it goes left. And Milcha, you have the best passive perception of the group, and I would say with your passive you can notice a tall kind of spire in the distance off to the left, and it's hard to make out a lot of features with it, but it's definitely the highest point that you've seen up to this point. Not really any other structures as tall as this one, so easy to guess that based on height that this is a very important structure.
There's a spire over there, definitely taller than any of the other structures here. Perhaps maybe that's where it's coming from. Actually, now that I think about it, based off of when we looked at the map, that could be the Capitol building up there. We'd have to get closer to find out, though.
I'm willing to go left here. I think that's a good bet.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you guys move now back left towards that building with the spire on it. The deep, dense fog just now coming through. Like, it seems like it's just encapsulating both like the full area around you, like not just your aerial view, but like it's even like encompassing the ground, and it's getting a little harder and harder to see further ahead of you as you're moving forward. You're still maintaining your range of sight, but it's just getting more difficult. But as you guys continue forward towards this, you now see this kind of large wall area with a 10-foot wide fenced door, like a fenced gate for a door. Definitely very regal and royal looking. And as you continue moving closer, now you can see beyond the gated door, which is actually open. You can see a path that continues forward, and then some dense garden foliage further in to the yard as you move forward. And even past that, you can see more of, what appears to be the Capitol building.
Is the hum still pretty deep and loud here?
Yeah, its intensity just continues to grow as you get closer here.
This must be where it is.
Let's approach cautiously.
I'm gonna stand in front of Milcha, next to Gorzog.
Yeah, and I'll be right next to Milcha as I fall from behind.
Okay, so you guys continue to walk forward, and now you enter this courtyard area on both the left and the right sides of the stone pathway here. There is probably at one time was very luscious looking gardens, but are now definitely in your sight dead and rotting and decaying, and definitely very dense in foliage as you continue walking forward. It's definitely further into the grassy areas, so while you're on the path, you're not facing any obstruction, but there definitely is some dense grass and dense weeds over there on those sides. Do you continue to move forward?
Yeah, we continue to go forward.
Okay, as you all continue to move forward, you get to a point in the stone pathway where the path forks to the left and to the right, but then it also continues into the entryway of this Capitol building. And as now you get a better look at the Capitol building, you see this very large structure, 3, maybe even 4 stories high, depending on how the shadowy fog is obscuring your vision in it. But upon you getting to the fork, at first it seems like your eyes deceive you, but as the fog moves past, from the middle of the stone pathway in front of you, you see this humanoid figure with skin that rots, holes in different points of its neck, its arms, but fully armored, like white hair coming from the back. And he holds a sword in front of him and points the sword in your direction. And as he points the sword in your direction, these incorporeal spirits just come out from the ground in front of the Capitol building here, and they begin to press forward towards you. I need you all to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
I rolled a 14.
I got a natural 20 for a 22.
Nice, Gorzog.
I got a 7.
I got an 18.
Okay, top of the round is going to be Gorzog. Gorzog, as you act first in the initiative order and you look up, you see the skeletal warrior within about 25 feet of you. And not long after the skeletal warrior appears, you can see these other ghostly warrior figures just begin to rise up out of the ground. What would you like to do?
I am going to move towards the skeletal warrior 20 feet, and I am going to attack him first with my battle axe.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll.
Does a 16 hit?
Yes, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, I did 4 points of damage. And then I have the topple weapon mastery. If you hit a creature with this weapon, you force the creature to make a con save. On a failed save, the creature has the prone condition.
Okay. I rolled a 20 on the con save.
Okay, yeah, that passes. And then I'm gonna attack with my offhand weapon with the scimitar, which has the nick property. That is an 18 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
That is 9 points of damage on that one.
Okay, you slice at the thigh of the skeletal warrior, but he manages to resist being knocked prone from it, withstanding with his strength. But then you quickly swipe with your left hand with the scimitar, and it cuts across his chest. Anything else you would like to do, Gorzog?
Yeah, I am gonna go ahead and take my action surge.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make your attacks then.
Okay, first one with the battle axe. That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I rolled another 1. So that would be another 4 points of damage. And then he needs to make another topple check.
I rolled a 19 on that one.
Okay, that one also succeeds. That will end my turn.
Okay. Next up, we have Drexiath. Drexiath, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to cast Acid Splash. And it says, I create an acidic bubble at a point within range where it explodes in a 5-foot radius sphere. Each creature in that sphere must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage. So, it says I choose a point.
So if you choose, for example, the point between Spectre 1 and the white, then it would get both of them, or if you chose the point between Spectre 2 and the white, you could get both of them. Based on the wording with it being a point, it wouldn't be able to affect all 3 of them. So which one would you rather it affect?
Okay, I think I'm gonna just put it at a point where it can affect Spectre 1 and the white. So they need to make dexterity saving throws.
The white rolled a 20.
Okay, that'll succeed.
And the Spectre rolled a 13.
Okay, that'll fail. The DC was 14. So the Spectre 1 will take 6 points of acid damage.
Okay, so you launch the acid towards that point between the two, and as it bursts, the white is able to dodge out of the way as it splashes, but it covers some of the Spectre, and the Spectre just lets out the shriek as the acid covers it. Does that end your turn, Drexiath?
I am actually going to go ahead and use my bonus. I should have done this before, but I'll remember for next time. I'll use my bonus action to use my Sorceress Burst, and that will end my turn.
Okay, we come to the Spectre's turn then. Both Spectres, Gorzog, since you are right there, they are going to actually move up 5 feet. And they are going to each make an attack against you. I also forgot to mention, Drexiath, whenever the acid does splash against the Spectre, it covers the Spectre, but it doesn't seem like it's taking its full effect, like as if it has some resistance to it.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for letting me know, Johnny.
Gorzog, first attack against you is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 3 points of necrotic damage, and your maximum HP is reduced by 3.
Oh boy. Okay.
Now the other one will also make a touch attack against you. It rolled a 15 to hit.
That'll miss, thankfully.
Okay, so as this first one, it grabs your shoulder and you kind of feel a chill on your shoulder as it touches you. And then the second Spectre comes over trying to do the same thing. That will end the Spectre's turn, and we are now to Gineod. Gineod, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to move down 15 feet to where I am within 10 feet of Spectre 1 and the white. And I'm going to use my bonus action to rage and take the bear form.
Okay, cool. Remind us what that does again when you take the bear form.
Yeah, it says while your rage is active, you have resistance to every damage type except force, necrotic, psychic, and radiant. And as a reminder, with celestial resistance, I'm already resistant to necrotic and radiant damage. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an attack roll against Spectre 1 that just touched Gorzog and gave that chilling effect.
Okay, will you attack recklessly?
Yes, I will. That is a 21 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
I did 9 points of slashing damage on that one.
Okay, so you go to swing your glaive towards the Spectre, and as your glaive passes, you catch a little bit of it, but it seems to be resisting the damage that is caused by the glaive too, so you come to the conclusion that even your weapons are not doing their full damage as they normally would. Anything else you would like to do?
No, that'll be, that was my action and bonus action. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, next is going to be the white's turn. The white is going to take his 2 attacks. First, it's going to attack Gorzog, and then it'll attack you next, Gineod. First against Gorzog is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 9 points of slashing damage, and then you also take 8 points of necrotic damage as it pulls out this sword just kind of laced with this dark energy, and it swings at you and cuts deep, giving you 17 points of total damage.
Oh man, that was a big hit.
Second attack against Gineod will be with advantage since you attacked recklessly. And that one is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And you're resistant to both its slashing damage and necrotic damage, so this will be halved. You take 7 points of slashing damage, reduced to 3, and then 5 points of necrotic damage, reduced to 2. So that'd be 5 points of damage to you, Gineod. That is the end of the White's turn, and now we go to Milcha. Milcha, what would you like to do?
Milcha is going to... She's going to move down 15 feet, and then to the left 10 feet. And she is going to cast Guiding Bolt at first level.
Okay, big hitter. Go ahead and make your attack roll on that one.
That is a natural 20.
All right, awesome. So you'll cap the 4d6 at 24, and go ahead and roll the 4d6 again.
All right, awesome, Milcha.
So I rolled another 16, so on top of the 24, that is 40 points of radiant damage.
Whoa, that's insane.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely overkill, to say the least. As you send your guiding bolt towards the specter, and as the bolt kind of comes through to the central cavity of the specter, or what appears to be the cavity of the specter, the bolt just penetrates it and then just bursts it out into shadow, and it disperses. Anything else you'd like to do, Milcha?
No, that's going to be the end of my turn.
Okay. As you fire out that guiding bolt and disperse the specter, the noise from the battle catches the attention of other undead creatures that lurk. And as we get to the top of the initiative here, you see 2 skeletons coming from down the left and 2 skeletons coming from down the right. And then Drexiath, as you notice behind you, you see 4 zombie-looking creatures coming up from the ground behind you, as these new undead creatures have now entered the battlefield. And we come back to the top of the round with Gorzog. Gorzog, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go ahead and... man, I've taken some good-sized hits here. I am going to go ahead and still attack. I'm going to swing against the White again with my battle axe.
Okay, go ahead.
That one is a natural 1.
Okay, so that'll miss, yeah, as you swing, and the White just parries the axe away with the necrotic sword.
Okay, and then I will attack with my scimitar, and I'm going to go ahead and use the Nick property to make it part of the attack action. That one is a 16 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 7 points of damage to the White.
Okay, so as he parries the axe, he is not quick enough to parry the scimitar slash you deal to his midsection, and he begins to wound there. Is there anything you'd like to do with your bonus action?
Why, yes, Johnny, I will definitely be using a second wind here.
Okay, that's what I figured. Go ahead and make your roll for it.
I rolled an 8, plus my fighter level would be 12.
Okay, very good. That'll bring us to Drexiath. Drexiath, what would you like to do here?
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and cast Acid Splash at Zombie 1. He just needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a natural 1.
Okay, that'll fail. And he takes 9 points of acid damage.
Okay, so the acid kind of covers over the zombie definitely taking the full effects of it. Anything else you would like to do?
I'm going to move, I'll say another 15 feet down on the pathway there, and that'll end my turn.
Okay, next is the Spectres, and the Spectre 2 that's left is going to attack you, Gorzog. It's going to use its Life Drain ability against you. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 7 points of necrotic damage, and you also reduce your maximum HP by 7 as well. And that will end the Spectre's turn. It is now the zombies' turn, and the zombies are going to just use their action to dash and get as close as they can to Milcha and Drexiath. And that will be the zombies' turn. It is going to be Gineod's turn. Gineod, what would you like to do?
Noticing that the zombies are getting closer to Milcha, Gineod is actually going to step back 1 square, and then he'll move diagonally left 1 square. And he is going to attack Zombie 1 with Reckless Attack. That'll be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That is 14 points of damage to Zombie 1.
Yeah, so as you step forward, it's kind of covered in acid as it's moving forward towards you. You quickly take your glaive, come around next to Milcha, and just cut off the head of Zombie 1 as it dies. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, next we come to the skeletons. Each skeleton is going to fire an arrow with the short bow at each one of you. First one will be at Milcha. That'll be a 7 to hit.
No, that'll miss.
All right, bounces right off the shield. Next is Gineod. Gineod, this one will be with advantage since you attacked the zombie recklessly. That is a 23 to hit, Gineod.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 4 points of damage, just reduced to 2 because of your rage. Next one's against Drexiath. Drexiath, that is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 8 points of damage on that one as the arrow kind of sticks into the side of your leg. And last one here against Gorzog. That one I'm sure will miss. It's a 9.
Yeah, that one misses.
Okay, so that one will swing wide of you. That'll end the skeleton's turn. They're not going to move. They're going to just stay where they're at, content to fire from a distance with their bows. And that brings us to the white. And the white is going to now just keep attacking you, Gorzog, with its necrotic sword. It's going to do that with its first attack here. Does a 20 hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 7 points of slashing damage and then 5 points of necrotic damage. And now it's going to, instead of using its sword for an extra attack, it's actually going to replace its attack with the use of its life drain. And And so it essentially looks a lot like what the Spectre was doing. As it cuts you, it just reaches out your hand to try and touch you. And it does make contact. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 21.
Okay, so the life drain has no effect as a result of that, as you succeed on your Constitution saving throw. That's going to end the White's turn. We are now to Milcha. Milcha, what would you like to do?
Yes, I am going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon at second level, and I'll place it right next to zombie number 2.
Okay, I currently don't have a miniature for you for the spiritual weapon on here, but I'll get that the next time. For now, we'll just use another one of you, and I'll make it upside down. That way we know that it distinguishes the difference between you and the spiritual weapon. So you cast that as a bonus action. Now in 2024, spiritual weapon now requires your concentration.
Yeah, that's correct. And upon casting, I'm going to go ahead and attack zombie number 2 with it. That was not a great roll. Let's see, does a 14 hit?
Yeah, that still hits. They're zombies, so not too hard to hit.
That is 12 points of damage to zombie number 2.
Okay, that was your bonus action. What would you like to do with your action?
With my action, I'm just going to cast Sacred Flame on it. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It rolled a 4, so I'm sure that fails.
Yes, it does. And that's 7 points of radiant damage to zombie number 2.
Okay, so upon seeing zombie number 2 get closer to you, you form... What does your spiritual weapon look like, Milcha?
I was honestly just thinking it looks like a warhammer, so the warhammer just comes across and dislodges its jaw before I send this radiance coming from my hand towards it, blasting it to pieces.
Yeah, well explained, Milcha. That's exactly what happens, and the zombie dies. Anything else you would like to do with your turn?
No, I think I'm gonna just stay where I'm at.
Okay, so that ends your turn. We are at the top of the round with Gorzog. Gorzog, what would you like to do?
I am going to keep swinging away at the White. I think Gorzog just has a lot of pride in his heart that he's going to undertake fighting this thing, and he's going to keep swinging. The first one with a battle axe is an 11 to hit.
That misses as the White parries it away.
Okay, I'm going to use my scimitar now with the neck property, making the attack part of the attack action. That one is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that one will hit, so go ahead and roll damage on that one.
That is another 8 points of damage to the White.
Okay, slowly but surely, almost just mimicking last round really, is he kind of parries the battle axe and just swings, kind of just guides the swing around before you cut across the chest with the scimitar. You bonus action second wind again?
Yes, I will certainly do that. I rolled a 6 plus my fire level is 4, so that's 10 points of healing on that one.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Okay, we now come to Drexiath. Drexiath, what would you like to do here?
I am going to use Shocking Grasp against skeleton number 4. And since Shocking Grasp was a sorcerer spell with Sorcerer's Burst, I get advantage on the roll. That is a natural 20.
All right, very good. Go ahead and take the the 8 from that, and then go ahead and roll again.
I rolled a 4, so that is 12 points of lightning damage to zombie number 4.
Okay, so as it kind of starts coming towards you, you stick your hand out and zap it with some electricity. And it definitely gives some shock to it, dealing a lot of damage to it. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Yeah, it says it loses its reaction upon a hit. And so I am going to try and move out of its range. And I'm going to move up and diagonally 10 feet. And then I'm going to move another 20 feet up.
Okay, we come to the Spectre's turn. And the Spectre is going to try and attack you with its life drain again, Gorzog. Gorzog does a 21 hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You take 8 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is also reduced by 8 points.
Hit okay.
That's the end of the Spectre's turn. It is now the zombie's turn. Zombie 1 is dead, and Zombie 2 is also dead. Drexiath, you still didn't get quite far away enough from the zombie when you moved, and so Zombie 3 and 4 are going to move towards you and attack. Zombie 3 will move 10 feet up left diagonally, and then to the left 10 feet. Zombie 4 will move up left 15 feet diagonally, and then up 5 feet. And both of them are going to try and attack you, Drexiath. Zombie 3 only rolled a 5 to hit.
Yeah, that'll miss.
And Zombie 4 rolled a 15 to hit.
I'll use my reaction to cast shield, making my AC a 19.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that will miss as it slams its hand right against your shield as you react to it. That is going to be the zombie's turn. We are now to Gineod. Gineod, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move down 10 feet and try and hit the light with my halberd, and I'll attack recklessly. That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 11 points of slashing damage to it. And I will use my bonus action, now that I have the polearm master feat, to use the butt of the weapon to also attack the white. I'll do it recklessly as well. That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And that is another 9 points of bludgeoning damage from the butt of the weapon.
Okay, so you leave Milcha's side for just a moment as you go and swing, and you kind of uppercut with the halberd, leaving this gash into its torso before spinning around and using the butt of the glaive, the butt of the glaive to bludgeon it in the face, and parts of the skin on its face kind of cave in a little bit on it, leaving this gap into part of its cheek. Anything else you would like to do with your turn?
I'm actually going to move just right back where I was, right next to Milcha, and that'll end my turn.
Okay, we are now to the skeleton's turn. The skeletons are going to do the same thing as last round. Each one is just going to attack each one of you individually. Milcha does a 19 hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You take 6 points of damage from that arrow. Gineod, this is with advantage since you attacked recklessly. It does a 15 hit.
No, that'll miss.
Okay, Drexiath now. 9 misses you, Drexiath.
Yeah, that's right.
Gorzog, that is a 14 for you.
No, that misses me.
Okay, that's the end of the skeletons. We are to the white. The white is going to use its necrotic sword to attack you here, Gorzog. That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Man, this guy's attack roll's good.
I'm actually getting some really high rolls as well on this, so that kind of aids with it. Okay, you take 7 points of slashing damage and 3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And it's going to make its second attack with the sword, not replacing it with a life drain this time, seeing as you were so resistant to it. That is a natural 20.
Oh, that's not good.
So you take 13 points of slashing damage and 13 points of necrotic damage from the swing.
Okay. My relentless endurance feat goes off, and I am at 1 hit point.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, and that is the end of the white's turn. We are to Milcha. Milcha, what would you like to do?
I am going to use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon 5 feet up to the right. And I'm going to attack zombie number 3 with it, the one that Drexiath had damaged. Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does hit. Go ahead and roll your damage on it.
That's 9 points of damage. Radiant damage specifically.
All right, so as you move the warhammer up and swing it towards the zombie goes flying backwards and dies upon impact. And you have your action. What would you like to do with your action?
I'm going to move diagonally down to the right 10 feet. I am going to use my action to cast Guiding Bolt at first level against the white.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
I think I'm going to use my heroic inspiration on this because I only rolled a 3.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll again then.
I think it's better 15.
A 15 will hit, so go ahead and roll a damage on it.
Whew. Okay, good deal. Not great rolls. It's 12 points of radiant damage.
Okay, there you go. And then next attack roll has advantage, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well that is perfect timing, because next is Gorzog. Gorzog, you have 1 hit point left. You're standing in front of the white. What would you like to do here?
Yeah, I am going to try again to keep hitting with the battle axe.
Okay, first attack roll.
First attack roll was a 14.
14 is just what you needed on this one, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, I rolled an 8 plus 3 for my strength, which is 11 points of damage. He needs to make a topple check.
Was your roll with advantage, Gorzog?
Oh, you know what? I just rolled the 1 die. Let me try again. The other one was higher. So.
Okay. That is an 11.
Okay, an 11 fails, so he falls prone. And as he's prone, I'm going to use my scimitar with the nick property.
Okay, roll it with advantage since he's prone.
Ugh, got me kidding. I rolled an 8.
Okay, you have your heroic inspiration if you want. It would let you roll one more die, and obviously with advantage, you'd take the higher die.
It's a tough choice. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my heroic inspiration. Of course, it's a natural 20.
Hey, awesome. All right, so go ahead and take the 6 and then roll the damage with the scimitar.
That's a 4, so that's 10 plus 3 is 13.
Okay, Gorzog, how would you like to do this?
Oh man, thank goodness. So as he kind of trips, I imagine that I just stand over him with my scimitar, and just with ferocity, I just cleave it completely across his head and just cut off his head.
All right, so it happens as you say it. The head just goes tumbling across the ground in front of this building here. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
So as part of my remarkable athlete, it says immediately after you score a critical hit, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So I think I'm going to do that here and move just 15 feet straight back. And then I still have my regular movement, right?
Yes, you would.
Okay, I am going to, after moving up 15 feet, I am going to move up diagonally to the left 1 for 5 feet, and then move to the left another 25 feet. And I haven't used my bonus action yet since I made the scimitar attack as part of the attack action. So I will use my... Well, let me ask you this, Johnny. We all still have potions, right?
Yeah, you guys all do. I keep meaning to tell you guys. I'm kind of surprised at moments that you forgot, but you all do have 1 potion of healing. It does 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Okay, I rolled 2 4, so that's 10 points of healing back. And that will end my turn.
Okay, good turn. That brings us to Drexiath. Drexiath, what would you like to do?
Okay, I think Milcha had said she attacked 3, but I think she attacked 4 because that was the one that I attacked.
Yes, it is Zombie 3 that is still up.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hex on the zombie, and then I'm going to use my action to Shocking Grasp the zombie.
Okay, with your Sorcerer's Burst still active, you have advantage on the roll.
I rolled a 16 to hit it.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage with it.
Okay, so D8 and D6. I rolled 6 points of lightning damage and 1 point of necrotic damage, so 7 total.
Okay, anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to, since he does have his reaction, I'm going to move away. I think I'm going to move 15 feet diagonally left, and then I will move the rest of my movement just beneath Gorzog. So 10 feet down, and then 5 feet down to the left. And that will end my turn.
Okay, it is the Spectre's turn. The Spectre is going to hover over to Gineod. So up, left, and to the right, 15 feet. And it is going to make a life drain attack against you, Gineod. And it'll do so with advantage since you did reckless attack on your last turn. That is an 18 to hit.
18 is my armor class, so yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, you take 9 points of necrotic damage, which is reduced to 4. So you take 4 points of damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by 4 points. And that'll end the Spectre's turn. It is now Zombie 3's turn. Zombie 3 is also going to move towards you, Gineod. It is going to move just 20 feet straight down.
I should have done this against the Spectre, but when it enters my range, per Polar Master, I can use my reaction to make an attack against it.
Oh yeah, perfect timing. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
It's an 18 to hit.
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll a damage against it.
Alright, max damage, that is 16 points of damage.
Yeah, literally as he steps in your space. Go ahead and describe it, Gineod.
Alright, cool. I think he just swings towards his torso and just cuts his body in half.
Okay, yeah, perfectly simple and indeed how it happens. Zombie 3 is now a goner. So there are now no more zombies left. And right on top of it, we come to you, Gineod. What would you like to do here?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and attack the Spectre. I'll do it recklessly. That is a 15 to hit.
15 will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay. The Spectre does not appear to be taking the full damage as a result of being resistant to it. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'll go ahead and use my bonus action to attack with the butt of the weapon. I'll do that recklessly as well. That is a 21 to hit. And that is another 7 points of damage.
Okay, and that'll be reduced to 3, so that's 8 points of damage total to Spectre 2. And is that in your turn, Gineod?
Yes, it does.
Okay, we are to the skeletons now. And with the skeletons, we're going to do the same thing as before. Each one is going to attack each of you individually. So we'll do Milcha first here. That is a 22 to hit, Milcha.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, does 7 points of damage to you.
Okay, and I need to make a concentration check on the spiritual weapon. Which is a 17, so that succeeds.
Okay, very good. Now to Gorzog. Excuse me, to Gineod, which Gineod, this will be at advantage. That is a 23 to hit. And that is 5 points of damage reduced to 2. This one against Drexiath is a 14 to hit.
I'll go ahead and take that one. That'll hit.
Okay. It's 6 points of damage to you.
Okay.
And a Gorzog. Is only a 13.
That'll miss.
Okay. White is down, so that brings us to Milcha. Milcha, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I would like to bring my spiritual weapon. Use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon 20 feet. To down 15 feet. And then to the right of Gorzog for 20. I'm going to make an attack against the Spectre, which is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits.
And that'll be for 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay, and the radiant damage definitely seeming to work against the Spectre here.
I'm going to just do a Sacred Flame. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a 16.
Okay, that succeeds.
Okay. That brings us to Gorzog. Gorzog, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to move 30 feet towards Skeleton 1. So move up 5 feet, and then to the left 25 feet. And I'm going to attack it with the Battle Axe. That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 5 points of damage. And it has a topple feature, so he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
It rolled a 12.
12 fails, so it falls prone. And then I'll use my bonus action to... No, I'm going to use my scimitar with the Nick property and do so with advantage since it's prone. That is a 23 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
And it's another 6 points of damage on that one.
Okay, very good. That skeleton is barely hanging on. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm afraid that's all I can do.
Okay, so we're now to Drexiath. Drexiath, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go ahead and try an Eldritch Blast Skeleton 1. Is 14 hit?
Yes, it will. And it only has 1 hit point, so upon you doing damage with the Eldritch Blast, it blasts it, and it falls dead. Anything else you'd like to do, Drexiath?
No, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, we are to the Spectre. The Spectre, not liking the hit from the spiritual weapon, Milcha, is going to try and attack you now. It rolled a 7.
No, that fails.
Okay, so it tries to reach out and grasp you, but you step out of the way of it, and that's going to end its turn. All the zombies are dead, and so that brings us to Gineod. Gineod, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to try swinging again on the Spectre. I'm going to do it recklessly. That is a 17 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
That is 11 points of damage. I guess since it's resistant, it'd be reduced to 5 points of damage.
Okay. The Spectre is still hanging strong, but it is definitely starting to phase in and out as a result of the hits.
I'm going to use my bonus action to use the butt of the glaive. That is a 16 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And that is for another 9 points of damage. It would be reduced to 4.
Okay, so now upon the butt of your glaive, just you jam it with just the celestial force inside, and the Spectre dissipates and is no longer a threat to you.
I'm glad to be done with those things.
Okay, anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Gineod.
I feel comfortable now where we're at. I'm going to move just 30 feet straight towards, to the right, towards skeleton number 4.
Okay, we are to the skeleton's turn. Now only 3 of them left. Number 2 is going to fire at Gorzog, 3 at Gineod, and 4 at Milcha. Gorzog does a 6 does not hit.
Yes, that's correct.
Gineod does a 19 hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, that is for 4 points of damage, reduced to 2. And number 4 will shoot at Milcha. That is only a 12 to hit, though.
No, that'll miss.
Okay, very good. Milcha, it's now your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, it looks like I'm within 60 feet of number 2. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to follow Gineod here. I'm going to move the spiritual weapon 20 feet to where it's just behind him. And I'm going to move following spiritual weapon just right behind it 25 feet. And I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on skeleton number 4. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, that is a 19 to hit, or a 19 to save.
Okay, yeah, that succeeds. And that'll end my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Gorzog.
Yeah, I'm just going to move down 5 feet and attack skeleton number 2. That is a 13 to hit.
13 will just miss.
Okay. I will attack with the scimitar as part of the Nick property. That is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 7 points of damage to skeleton 2.
Okay, cut against it. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No, that'll be it for me.
Okay, we are to Drexiath now. Drexiath, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to choose the point just behind number 2. Actually, you know what? Can I use... Am I allowed to shift my hex to another enemy?
Let's see, Hex. You can take a bonus action on a later turn to curse a new creature, so yes, you can.
Okay, I'll do that on this one, and I will cast Eldritch Blast on this one. That is a 16 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Okay, so that's 3 points of force damage and 6 points of necrotic damage from the hex.
Okay, so 9 points of damage. Describe how the Hex and the Eldritch Blast take it out.
Yeah, I think the dark energy of the hex just kind of twists it up, restrains it, and then I just blast the head off the skeleton after that.
Okay, very good. That happens for you. Skeleton 2 is down, and we just have 2 skeletons left. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Drexiath?
I'm just going to move 30 feet to the right, following Milcha, and that'll end my turn.
Okay, we are to Gineod. Gineod, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm just going to move 30 feet to the right, which would put me 10 feet to skeleton number 4, and I'm going to just attack skeleton number 4 recklessly. There's a 15 to hit.
A 15 will hit? Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 12 points of damage to skeleton number 4.
Okay, skeleton barely looks like it's hanging on here as you cut in.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to use the butt action recklessly. That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit, and with only 1 hit point, you bludgeon it the same way you kind of did with the Spectre with that Celestial bludgeoning, and the Spectre goes down, or the skeleton goes down.
Okay, that ends my turn.
Okay, 1 skeleton left. He's going to try and, just seeing you right there, he's going to attack you, Gineod. Going to do it recklessly. We're going to do it with advantage since you attacked recklessly. That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, for 4 points of damage, reduced to 2. And that will end its turn. And we come to Milcha.
Yeah, I'm just going to move 30 feet, not far from Gineod here. And then I'm going to move my spiritual weapon another 20 feet to where it's next to me with my bonus action. And I'm just going to cast Sacred Flame on number 3.
It rolled a natural 20 on its dex save. This is a resilient skeleton, to say the least.
Okay, yeah, that succeeds.
Okay, that brings us to Gorzog. Gorzog, what would you like to do?
I'm going to use my movement, move 30 feet to the right. And then I'm going to use my action to dash to move another 30 feet. And then I'm actually going to use my bonus action to use my Adrenaline Rush, which says you can take the dash action as a bonus action. And then you gain a number of temp HP equal to your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay. Very handy.
And so I'll get right next to... I'll get there, right next to Milcha's spiritual weapon, and that will end my turn.
Okay, we are to Drexiath. Drexiath, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to move forward 30 feet to the right, next to Gorzog and Milcha's spiritual weapon. And I'm going to shift my hex to skeleton number 3, and then I am going to try Eldritch Blessing. Skeleton number 3. That was a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 12 points of damage, 5 from necrotic and 7 force damage from Eldritch Blast.
Okay, the skeleton stands strong and is barely holding itself together. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No, that'll be it for my turn.
Okay, next we have Gineod. Gineod, what would you like to do?
I'm going to just move up 5 feet to where I'm 10 feet of the skeleton, and I'm going to swing with the glaive. Do it recklessly. That is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit, and it only had 1 hit point. So as you come down with it, you swing that glaive quickly, and as quickly as you swing it, it kind of stops for a moment in its tracks, the skeleton, and then it just falls to pieces after that. You guys have won the encounter, and all of the enemies are defeated.
Okay, as I kind of look around, do I notice any of the humming still happening?
Yeah, the humming is definitely still very loud here, and it looks like it's getting even louder coming from the entranceway into this building.
Can you guys tell that it's coming from the building?
Yeah, I still hear it. It looks like the source of this darkness is here within this building.
let's try and get in and let's see if we can bandage ourselves up before going too much further.
Okay, so you guys collectively move into the building here, and we will see what awaits inside of the building in our next session.
Okay, cool. Great combat, Johnny. That was very fun.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. Well, thank you guys for playing. Thank you all for joining us, and tune in next time for the next session of the Archives of Domaselum.